Have you ever noticed something? The wealthy rarely announce their next move. You don't see them posting their business ideas. You don't see them broadcasting their investments. You don't see them explaining every plan before it happens. And that's not an accident. The richest individuals in the world understand a principle most people ignore. Silence is strategy. While others talk, they prepare. While others announce, they position. While others seek validation, they build. They move deliberately. They execute quietly. They let results speak. And today, you're going to understand exactly why they protect their silence and how adopting the same discipline can completely change the way you build wealth. Because in the world of money, noise attracts attention, but silence builds power. Welcome to Silent Wealth Stories. This is not a channel about hype, not about shortcuts, not about loud success or overnight promises. This is where we study how wealth is built quietly, strategically, patiently, and intentionally. If you want to build wealth without noise, without unnecessary risk, and without performing for the world, you are in the right place. Because real wealth rarely announces itself. It compounds in silence. It grows behind closed doors. It moves before anyone notices. And by the end of this video, you will understand the mindset, the strategy, and the silent habits that separates those who talk about success from those who quietly build it. Let's begin. Rule 1: leverage is everything. The wealthy don't announce their next move because they understand leverage. Leverage is not just money, it is time multiplied, it's influence extended, it is resources working even when they are not. The rich rarely rely on effort alone. They build systems, they cultivate networks, they acquire assets that move on their behalf. While others trade hours for income, the wealthy position themselves where one decision produces 10 results. One relationship opens 5 doors. One investment compounds for decades. That is leverage. When most people talk about what they plan to do, they unknowingly dilute their power. They seek validation. They spend emotional energy explaining instead of executing. They release momentum before it is fully built. But the wealthy understand something deeper. Attention is currency. Information is power. Silence is control. They protect their leverage the way a general protects strategy. They set the pieces quietly. They strengthen their position quietly. They prepare their next move quietly. And when everything is aligned, they act, not loudly, not emotionally, but decisively, because leverage works best when it moves unseen. Rule 2: opportunities are fragile. Not every opportunity can survive exposure. Some ideas are powerful, but delicate. Some deals are promising, but sensitive. Some investments are profitable, but timing dependent. The moment you broadcast your plan, you change its environment. You invite competition, you invite imitation, you invite skepticism, you invite unnecessary opinions. And opinions are heavy. They slow momentum. They introduce doubt. They weaken conviction. Many people lose opportunities not because the idea was bad, but because they exposed it too early. A business idea spoken too soon attracts competitors. An investment mentioned too casually attracts imitators. A strategy shared prematurely attracts interference. The wealthy understand something most people overlook. Silence protects incubation. Before a seed becomes a tree, it grows underground. Before a deal becomes public, it matures in private. Before success becomes visible, preparation happens unseen. They do not announce potential, they announce results. They plan quietly, they prepare strategically, they execute precisely, and only when the outcome is secured. Does the world hear about it? Your best ideas deserve protection, not applause, not discussion, not validation, protection. Because opportunity thrives in focus, and focus requires silence. Rule 3: opinions are distractions. Most people do not lack ideas, they lack certainty. And in search of certainty, they look outward. They ask friends what they think. They consult family for reassurance. They post online seeking approval. They crowdsource their next move. But every additional opinion introduces friction. Different perspectives create hesitation. Conflicting advice creates doubt. Uninformed criticism creates fear, and fear delays action. The wealthy understand something critical. The crowd is rarely qualified to evaluate your vision. Most people give advice based on their comfort zone, not your ambition, based on their limitations, not your potential. External opinions often dilute confidence before execution even begins. They create unnecessary pressure to explain, to justify, to defend. The rich do not build strategies around applause, they build them around outcomes. They gather insight from experience. They consult experts when necessary, but they do not seek emotional validation because validation is addictive. And addiction weakens decision making. Silence protects focus. Focus strengthens execution. Execution produces results. And results speak louder than approval ever could. The wealthy do not move to be understood, they move to win. Rule 4: execution beats explanation. The world will judge you, whether you speak or stay silent. People will form opinions, they will speculate, they will question your direction. So why waste energy explaining plans that have not yet materialized? Explanation feels productive, it feels like progress, but it is often just performance. The wealthy understand a hard truth. Talking about action is not action. While others are describing what they intend to build, the rich are building it. They move first. They test quietly. They iterate privately. They adjust without announcement. They refine without applause. They allow data to guide them, not public reaction. Because once you start explaining, you become attached to perception. Once you start performing, you begin protecting your image. And protecting image often slows real progress. Execution requires focus. Focus requires silence. By the time anyone notices what the wealthy have done, the foundation is already strong. The system is already running. The asset is already producing. Results do not need explanation. Results create their own narrative. Execution is silent. Preparation is silent. Strategy is silent. But success is loud. Rule 5: build before you broadcast. Talking feels productive. It gives a rush. It creates the illusion of movement. It earns attention before anything has been built. But attention is temporary. Results are permanent. The wealthy understand the difference. They do not confuse excitement with execution. They do not mistake announcements for achievement. They do not trade long-term leverage for short-term validation. While others are posting updates, the rich are building foundations. They invest quietly. They create systems quietly. They acquire assets quietly. They strengthen positions quietly because building requires depth, and depth cannot grow in the spotlight. Social validation is addictive. Followers feel rewarding. Likes feel like proof. But none of those compounds. Assets compound. Skills compound, equity compounds, reputation compounds. Every quiet decision stacks, every disciplined move adds weight, every unseen sacrifice builds momentum. And momentum, once established, becomes difficult to stop. By the time the world notices what was once invisible is now undeniable. The wealthy don't broadcast intentions, they broadcast outcomes. They build first, they speak later. Because when the foundation is strong, you don't need to convince anyone. The results will do it for you.
Your next move does not need an audience. Not every idea deserves exposure. Not every plan requires explanation. Not every ambition needs approval. Some visions grow stronger in silence. Protect your ideas. Guard your focus. Preserve your momentum. Execute with intention. Build with discipline. Move with patience. Let others talk. Let others speculate. Let others announce you. Prepare. Because when preparation meets opportunity, results become inevitable. One day, without warning, your silence will speak louder than words ever could. This is the power of moving differently. This is the discipline of quiet wealth. Subscribe to Silent Wealth Stories for more lessons on building wealth without noise. And remember, money loves preparation, not noise.